Harpreet Singh, for your nice words, and I'm grateful to whole IES University fraternity. My special thanks to Mr. B.S. Yadav sir and Madam Sunita Singh Madam. I am thankful to Dr. Jyotiram Savle, and all the members of the organization who have given me this opportunity to speak with you during this very challenging era of COVID-19 pandemic in our country. My topic is related to some quality concerns. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Audible to you?
Yes, audible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So my topic is quality concerns of different natural leads, and sometimes we call it phytoleads, considered as secondary metabolites, which have their important role not only for the healthcare system, but these leads are important entity of the country by which we can contribute economically in nation building approaches. So start with the quality concerns. Here I would like to emphasize on different of the contribution of these products. In what way our product and our produces of Indian origin will have global acceptance, not only for the purpose of earning a reputation for this product, but also for the recognition of our flora and fauna, which have different type of functionality in terms of active ingredients and medicinal plant properties. So we know that today the world community is facing an pandemic situation of COVID-19, which is causing severe acute respiratory syndrome. And in this period, full of natural products and the different kind of herbal medicinal products, increased. Why? Because the global urgency is witnessing the more than 74 lakh confirmed cases of COVID-19. This is the figure of this morning. So maybe now it has been increased. So what is the need? What global requirement? Today we are searching for one clinically proven prophylaxis and therapeutic strategy. Whenever we consider this urgent need of clinical proven prophylaxis and therapeutic strategy, we have to look into the chemical potentials and medicinal potentials of herbs and different aromatic and plant diversity available in our country. And that is why when we talk about the medicinal plants and their products, we have to harness the whatever knowledge system is existing worldwide. And that is why I would say that there is the urgent need of harnessing the knowledge of the medicinal system involving medicinal plants. And there is one success story. We know that the traditional Chinese medicine in Wuhan, they have proved that the potentials of herbs and their secondary metabolites have the remarkable contribution in control of the pandemic situation. When we talk about our country, we have different classical reports, especially Ayurveda classics. There are knowledge, different kind of knowledge reports, the setup, immunomodulating the body system in such a way that can protect itself from the virus during this pandemic situation. So what is the response of this at present we have? There are two type of basic requirements. The one is we have to take care of some graded response with the help of medicinal and aromatic plants and different herbal medicinal products. These herbal medicinal products may have, sometime traditional products and sometime modern products as well. Then the second response should be, like we have to learn something from the whatever habits we are following, what particular type of food consumption we have, what kind of prescribed kind of diet we have. So in that way, we have to learn something from our body, and that is why I can say that there must be some personalized intake of food and personalized way of living or healthy living style. So like if we eat some curd or yogurt in our diet, some person may have some different type of abnormal kind of homeostasis, they may have sore throat and all that, and which may lead to different type of serious condition. Likewise, when we use different type of herbs in terms of botanical and food products, we have to look into their functionality, in what way they have their functionality to boost up our immune system. So in this way, although we have the huge potential of medicinal values of these plants, at the same time, we have functionality of these plant products in our daily diet. So in this way, the quality not only in terms of the harmful effect or adulterated quality or adulterated status of that product, but also in terms of the active window of that particular herb. In what way the particular raw material or particular herbs we use, whether as vegetables or maybe in terms of some powders, extracts, remedies, or in terms of some different type of medicinal products. When we talk about the different medicinal plants and its potentials in terms of global significance, we have to look into their content of primary and secondary metabolites. So when we talk about quality concerns, quality is basically dependent on what kind of chemical nature, chemical characteristics is associated with primary metabolites, in what way the secondary metabolites effects are there. So altogether, when primary and secondary metabolites, they are having their qualitative role in a particular herb or in particular medicinal plant, it is being quantified, and in terms of quantification, we have to use different kind of regulatory norms and different kind of analytical procedures. So what are these analytical procedures we have to use? The analytical procedure is is the area where we have to look into different kind of regulatory norms, different type of prescribed procedures, and ultimately to ensure that the product is having this particular range of the active material, whether it is secondary or primary metabolites. Here I would like to say you that metabolites are nothing but they are chemicals present in a particular herb or in a particular herbal product. Primary are defined scientifically like they are primary requirement of the plant to grow at optimum rate so that the secondary biosynthetic pathway can get started in appropriate time. It means when the particular plant is having the primary metabolite in optimum concentration, then in a certain age of maturity of the plant, the secondary metabolites are biosynthesized, involving various biosynthetic procedures. So when we take this example of different medicinal plants and different either primary or secondary metabolites, the response of the common community should be graded. Like graded means the plants which are being used by the common community who are not exposed to any pandemic situation, they won't have any different type of symptoms or asymptomatic kind of status of COVID. Then another group which is having the chances of exposure to some infected community, where some asymptomatic as well as symptomatic chances are there. So this is the second group. Third one is the group of people who are symptoms. I mean to say they are quarantined, not only home quarantine, but they are they are placed under institutional quarantine. Means their chances of the symptoms are more as compared to the remaining two. Then the fourth one is the community who are having positive status, but they are not serious. Why? Because their immune system is responding in a very positive manner, so that the number of viruses getting decreased in during over a period of a particular time of cycle of that virus. And the third one is very serious condition. Means the last one, the fifth one is the very serious kind of group of patients where different type of urgent needs or urgent medication is required. So medicinal plants and these herbal products may have different type of responses in 5 groups, where the Indian subcontinent has huge potential to look into their maximum and optimum use in different type of structured manners. Then when we develop different type of quality parameters, we have to see in what way the quality is detected. First of thing, we must know what quality we need. Quality concern means we must know the standardized kind of parameters by which we can detect that this particular kind of quality is to be ensured. Suppose we are eating some veggies, we must know which particular quality of vegetables are required to consume. In what way this vegetable content or different type of fiber content or different type of pesticidal residuals, they affect the overall body system, so that we won't be able to maintain our normal homeostasis. Normal homeostasis status is nothing but when the body is functioning well in terms of digesting foods, in terms of release of various biologicals or biochemicals, or a response of various internal processes of the body, then we say that our body is passing through normal homeostasis. But whenever there are some negative states, whenever we take we expose our body, maybe through consumption of some toxic material, through consumption of some adulterated food, through consumption of some adulterated vegetables, or because of a number of external factors like contaminated air and contaminated consumption of various toxic materials available in air, then different type of biological processes which are not normal. Say for example, if the different type of hormonal release process is not normal, it means our overall normal homeostasis is getting affected. So when this effect is sustained for a longer period of time, there are chances of different type of deformation in the body. So how this deformation can be maintained, and how body can be again shifted towards normal homeostasis, is required different type of secondary metabolites, so that the immune system can be boosted up, not only boost up, but we can maintain a particular pace of normal homeostasis. So this is how the medicinal plants have their importance and their quality. When we talk about our Asian importance, or Asian potentials, the Asian region has abundant species of these herbs, which has been practiced in our region for many years, and throughout the world, there are two countries. One is India and China. They have made use of medicinal plants to cure ailments for thousands of years. These two countries have only guided the world that there are some secondary metabolites existing in flora, which can be used for the purpose of different kind of ailments and for the purpose of maintenance of normal homeostasis. And we know that as WHO has decided many years ago that health for all. This health for all may be one sentence, but cannot be achieved without herbal medicine. Because if we work on different type of synthetic material and if you put our all efforts for the synthesis and synthetic different type of medicament, then definitely there will be the different type of deformation of normal homeostasis, and ultimately common community body system will be affected in big way, and ultimately that cannot be cured. So the response should be with the medicinal plants and the extract and different type of functionality of vegetables, by which we can achieve this health for all under the aegis of WHO. So this is the Asian region. What's about the India? According to various reports, the international market of herbal product is estimated 62 billion, which is to be again 5 trillion by next 30 years. And this indicates that the production, consumption, domestic and international trade in medicinal plant-based product is going to grow at very significant rate. And this significant rate will be definitely affected by our country. What are the strength? We have the strength in India, we have enormous biodiversity. See, we are talking about quality. We can't ignore this biodiversity. When we talk about quality, quality comes from different secondary metabolites. They are biosynthesized in one plant species. When this particular plant grows, there are n number of factors like underground factors, on the ground factors, and other factors of air velocity, then different type of biodiversity factor. So altogether they affect the biosynthetic pathway. So this particular, when we have huge number of the availability of this factor, definitely will be able to detect the quality. Then we have different types of soils and climate condition in our country, so that there is a scope of working on the quality improvement procedures of this secondary metabolites. Then also we have a rich heritage of Indian system of medicine, on the basis of which we can take some inputs so that the overall quality can be improved. Then of course we have a strong base of research and development laboratories, skilled manpower, lower production and manpower cost, and well-developed pharmaceutical industrial support. So in this way, altogether, the India is the best suitable place where this medicinal plants may be executed in terms of research and development executions, especially for the urgent situation of pandemics. When we talk about quality, why quality? Because quality is important for the purpose of bio-cost prospecting and the protection of the rights of intellectual, and that can be maintained under the TRIPS agreement. The increasing importance of these plants will definitely will create a huge number of confusion as well, and that is why TRIPS agreement will be helpful for the protection of intellectual rights. In our country, we have the Ministry of Environment and Forest as a nodal agency for this biodiversity related issues, and as a part of its efforts biodiversity conservation, the ministry has set up different type of reserve biospheres, which are 18 in number. Then there are some 42 national parks and various sanctuaries. So this all setup is for the purpose of quality production and the sustainable development of these medicinal plants. Why I'm saying this bias prospecting? Because many medicinal plants are getting endangered in various countries. Some 100 years ago, the plant was abundant, available in those countries, but now there is not a single plant is available in that particular geographical location. That is why we have to harvest the plants in sustainable way, so that the availability as well as the genotype is maintained for the future. So we have resource based conservation and utilization kind of status in our country. Like 45 plant species, nearly 20% of global species are found in our nation. 3,700 species are both higher and lower plant groups are medicinal values. 100 medicinal plant species have already been used by contemporary industry, and 80% are procured from wild area and mostly notified as forest land. It means the forest area is the rich source of this secondary metabolites. Then 10 to 15% medicinal plant procured from cultivated private field means it is a very limited proportion of the plant which is cultivated in farmland. The forest of two areas like Himachal Pradesh and Western Ghats are uh, the rich source of supplier. They are a supplier of very higher proportion of these medicinal products. So looking to the availability of different biodiversity factors as well as the availability of these plant species in these two regions, we have to decide with various strategies for the quality control of secondary metabolite. Why quality? Quality is not for the purpose of the very short period of this pandemic situation or the period of decade. But when we consider the quality of medicinal and aromatic plant, there are 5 opportunities available with us. One is global business angle. Through this, we can do our international business. While doing this international business, there are chances of recognition and acceptance of our products worldwide, and ultimately that is the biggest contribution to the world in terms of human healthcare program. Then when we concern about optimum quality, definitely we'll be able to put some innovative effort so that the parameter of quality with safety and efficacy issues are evolved. Then there are chances of some drug discovery from plants, like we know that there are artemisinin, which is one of the breakthrough and one of the important success stories natural products. We have seen that there are huge dependence of various anti-malarial drugs. There are different type of dependence and side effects status and reports were recorded. And when the natural product executed for the purpose of this situation of malaria, the artemisinin remained very very challenging kind of molecule, which was established and ultimately it got recognition worldwide. So when we talk about quality and when we critically analyze the status of quality, there are the scope of some new drug discovery from plants is also associated. Then when we do the quality, definitely the current therapeutic priorities are also important. So for example, when we are developing some quality control parameters for the herbals and different medicinal plants, the current priority of therapeutics should also be considered. Like this is the era of antiviral and different type of therapeutic agents which are isolated from natural sources which have different type of antiviral properties. So this kind of challenge and opportunity can also be addressed with the help of the quality concerns of medicinal and aromatic plants. Then the fifth one is the fifth opportunity is herbal product in not only in human healthcare but also for animal healthcare programs can also be developed. Herbal product may be for human, maybe cosmetics or beautifying or different type of other functionality, nutraceuticals and all that. So there is a huge scope of the product which may be developed either for human purpose or for the animal purpose. So in this way, when we address the quality in appropriate manner, we are trying to open the doors of these 5 opportunities. If we are not considering the quality as the prime goal of this product, definitely we are losing this opportunity. In some way I can find that because of the range of the particular specification, the quality is getting diminished, and that is sometime it is accepted some part of the globe, but other part of the world is not accepting the same product, and that is why the quality should not be under the bigger range of the specification. We have to narrow down the particular range, and ultimately that narrow down range should be under the acceptance of global requirement. So when our quality is developed in such a way that the product is to be used by different sectors of human use area, like we may develop the quality for pharmaceuticals, drug leads or intermediates. Then there are chances of quality of finished product in terms of herbal preparations and herbal medicinal products. You can see here in the opportunities which are not only for the business opportunity, but it's also a kind of research opportunities for the purpose of, you see that the extracts can also be innovatively developed, and innovative procedure of quality detection can also be evolved. Then one area of essential oils and flavors and all that. Then some inert material and pharmaceutical aids and like mucilage and different type of gums. Then entomological preparations are also, so they're like insecticide repellents, then pesticides, fungicides, and all this. So altogether, agro-technological business and different type of multi-dimensional opportunities are available, where the quality is involved in big way, and ultimately we can put our innovative efforts to develop some procedures, and ultimately these procedures will lead us in optimum quality. So why this quality? The quality is for two things only. One is safety and another one is effectivity. In both cases, before effectivity, we have to look into how much safety is associated with our product. Whether the safety is related to the end user of the product, or it is related to the personal or human being which is involved in the cultivation, collection, harvesting, or shipment or transportation of that particular product. So it must have safety in broader way, and ultimately there must be no safety to each and every component involved in the process of plant to patient platform. Plant to patient platform is nothing but when the plant is developed, and ultimately reaches to a particular end user. So during this particular path, various number of components are getting involved. So in what way the product is having its safety, which is associated to individuals, individual processes, individual infrastructure. It is to be required to be detected in real-time manner, so that the overall holistic safety can be devised and present. And next one is effectivity. Of course, it is related to bioactivity and all. Product, whether it is active or bioactive, it doesn't matter. Before launching the product, our product should be having its safety profile, and that is why the safety issues are very, very important for the quality. So when we saw that how important quality is. So how to start with the innovative kind of efforts for quality detection. So in modern era of scientific investigation of these products, one is external sector and internal sector. External sector is nothing but they are external issues which includes different toxic metals, different type of pesticidal residues, microbes, and various kind of misidentified adulterated kind of incorporation. So the factor which comes from external part of the or external side of the plant, they consider in this external sector. So under this class, we have to look into different factors and different processes which are causing different type of external issues, including whatever I have depicted here in this slide. Then the next one is the complexity and non-uniformity of ingredients in herbal product. This is the internal area. So what happens when the product is being developed through the involvement of biosynthetic pathway? There are chances of the occurrence of different precursors, intermediates, and end product of biosynthetic pathway. When we pick up one plant part, a particular time period, maybe say for 12th of June 2020, we are just harvesting one plant part. When we harvest this plant, when we collect this plant part, at this particular, say for example, at 9:30 we have collected the plant material. At 9:30, there are the occurrence and the presence of various intermediates in a particular quality and the quantity. There are the fixed number of secondary metabolites with a particular quality and the quantity, and there are fixed number of complexes which will be available in that particular plant product. So ultimately, at what particular time period we are collecting the material, we have to evaluate in such a way that this number of the active molecule, intermediate molecule, and different type of finished material or active material or the particular secondary metabolite is available in those plant material. So it is to be devised in such a way that we can define that this is the concentration, this is the quality which will be available when we collect the plant material on so and so that and so date and so and so. So in this way, the different type of complexity of non-uniformity of ingredient also remains one of the challenge. So in this way, two sectors, one is external and internal sectors, we have to choose different type of quality parameters. When we talk about this herbal products, see our herbal product is traveling this path which I have depicted here. This is the kind of conventional distribution of this product. The material is cultivated in farmland here. Then it comes, either it reaches directly to market, or sometimes it goes to dealers and suppliers. From suppliers and dealers, it reaches to processing factory. Before reaching to processing factory, there are n number of dealers and suppliers are involved in the process of supplying. I mean to say, there are chances of n number of chances are there to adulterate the product, sometimes intentionally or sometimes unintentionally as well. So our product is getting affected here before reaching to this particular processing factory. Processing factory is sometimes grinding it, sometimes they develop different type of powder form, coarse powdery material and all that, and ultimately they supply is the material to processed herbal material to different market agencies. From market agencies, it goes to pharmaceutical production. Again, from market, sometimes some herbs are directly provided to consumers, or there are chances that the product is processed or developed in pharmaceutical industry. Then again, the finished product goes to dealer, then clinical hospital. Then of course, via practitioner, it reaches to consumer. So in this way, the product is being traveled in different type of diversified manner, and there are a number of factors which are getting involved in the distribution of this plant, and ultimately the quality may affect it at any particular path. And that is why we have to check the quality in transportation, or it is reaching to a particular destination. We have to ensure the quality of the material which is already supplied by different supply chain. Because the innovative way of working with these natural products, and ultimately innovative execution of this research programs, they could develop different type of phytoliths, and these are the example by which you can see here the salicin, artemisinin, as I told you, then hyoscyamin, then colchicine. You might have heard this colchicine is very important phytolith of anti-gout, and then kaolin, then galantamine, digoxin, podophyllotoxin, opioids like morphine and all that derivatives, and ephedrine, then a different type of anti-cancer agents like Taxol, Vincristine, Vinblastine, and all that. These all phytoliths have different success story. And when you go through the background of this story, you will find that the executors and researchers have put their very effective efforts in terms of quality production and quality collection, quality execution of the particular development of the drug. We consider the quality as the prime goal of this natural. We have different type of challenges. Like the one is herbal product or very is developed with different type of mechanism. So mechanism is molecular mechanism is the principal comparison of different number of molecules which are synergistically active for a particular therapeutic goal. Then natural products are also having one quality concern in terms of selective analytical method, and reference compounds may not be available, and that is why when we check the quality, we have to develop some innovative procedure so that we can have opportunity to develop the selective analytical methods. Then numerous constituents are active to different degrees and in various respects. When we develop the quality protocols, we see that the number of constituents or more than one constituents are having different degrees of their bioactivity for a particular therapeutic target. Like when we evaluate the quality of a particular product in terms of its bioactivity, we see that there is the holistic procedure is involved in the overall activity of these products. Say, for example, Senna. We know that Senna is having more than 12 or 13 dianthon type of glycosides, and these glycosides are altogether active to exert the its optimum bioactivity as laxative or different other type of targets. When we go for isolation and the separation of these individual dianthon glycosides, we see that the components are getting separated, their activity is decreased. We can conclude that the activity is not because of the but the overall activity is because of the altogether efforts of the all dianthon type of glycoside, and that is why we can say that the synergy is available, or synergy is existing in this product, and that is why synergy should be investigated in proper way so that the separation of individual components should be avoided. And in this way, this is one of the challenge that the particular synergistic bioactivity should be maintained. Then when we develop different kind of selective analytical methods, we have to include those modern and innovative procedures or hyphenated procedures by which we can collect the material in real-time manner, so that the detection of the abnormal kind of presence of different harmful agent, as well as the way by which the detection is done should be recorded in a proper way, so that the reproducibility of the procedure as well as reproducibility of overall result of the analytical procedure is recorded as pseudo record. Because sometimes due to the recording errors, the value which are being recorded by manually or by the conventional way of record, the results are not reproduced, and which makes which makes a big difference in the overall comparison of the results and the findings, and ultimately the holistic quality of the product is getting diminished. So these are the challenge by which we can say that the herbal products are assessed in terms of their quality, keeping in mind that the active markers, whether they are chemical markers or biomarkers, they must be evaluated in a proper manner, so that the concentration as well as their detection at various level of distribution and various stages of transportation should be recorded in proper way. The quality also gives us the opportunity to work in a holistic manner. What is holistic manner? When the particular product is being developed for the purpose of medicinal targets or therapeutic targets, the multiple therapeutic dimensions are involved. See, for example, if we develop one product for the purpose of wound healing. Wound healing is not a single process. When we talk about the oral biological happenings which happens with during the wound healing process, there are more than 5 processes are getting involved, like lattice collagen formation, then different type of contraction, inflammation, then antimicrobial kind of processes, then different type of release of prostaglandins and all that. So altogether, this particular processes are getting affected by various number of molecules. Say, for example, when we use one extract, there are chances of the activity of various degrees of different secondary metabolites are getting varied. One component is specific to lattice collagen formation, another component is specific to particular antimicrobial activity, or another component will be contributing in holistic way for all together. So to conclude, the particular to devise the oral therapeutic or bioactive window, we have to look into the performance of individual components in different degrees and various respects. So in this way, the multidimensional therapeutics, or the goal of multidimensional therapeutics, can be achieved with the help of the optimum quality of the secondary metabolites. Another example, you can see the anti-malarial drugs. When malaria is one patient is suffering from malaria, we see that the concentration of falciparum parasite is there. Then, in addition to malaria status, there is painful condition in the body. There is the increased temperature of the body, feverish condition. So when we develop one particular extract or one drug, in terms of quality of anti-malarial efficacy, we have opportunity to address all these symptoms which are appeared during the positive cases of malaria. So when we give this particular medicament to one patient of malaria, we have chances to address, to quantify the degree of bioactivity for the feverish condition, degree of bioactivity for the reduction of this falciparum, degrees of the bioactivity to reduce the overall pain condition of the body. So in this way, multidimensional therapeutic or multidimensional kind of pharmacological responses are associated with this natural products. And in this way, the natural products are having their importance in terms of their bioactivity in various respects. So when these various aspects are involved in one therapeutic goal, and a different type of localization is done in terms of different phytoconstituents, we are able to develop the overall holistic picture. We are developed to a holistic response of holistic therapeutic response of these products. So in this way, different degrees as well as various respects of the bioactivity can also be developed with the help of different medicaments of natural origin and herbs. Another quality concern is when we develop the medicinal plant extract or any product, we have to avoid different type of multiple number of processing. And that is why the world and Western investigators and worldwide group of various councils, they are now developing protocol so that we have to prefer the whole extract instead of getting particular lead compound. Why? Because when we use the whole extract, we are able to ensure the synergy of these plants. When we develop the particular extract, the synergistic kind of response can be maintained. Why? Because when we expose or different type of solvent separation, when this particular separation procedures are carried out, when our product is exposed to different type of silica or different type of chromatographic material, when the active ingredients or secondary metabolites are exposed to this particular agents or different type of this chromatographic material, there are chances of formation of some complexes. These complexes may affect the oral bioactivity. That is why we have to reduce the number of steps which are involved for the purpose of development of this extract. When these extracts are developed, as I told you, esterification of various functional groups. These functional groups are having their responsive sites when they bind to particular receptors in the body. So by giving the chance to develop some complexes, we are reducing the oral bioactivity of these components, and in this way the oral bioactivity is getting decreased. Another way is sustainable supply of material. This is another challenge. When we are dependent on the supply of the material on some different suppliers or a number of suppliers, which is installed is also dependent on the other parts of the our production house or external part of the production house. Why? Because when the supplier is not cultivating or developing the whole crop in a particular devised manner, or the supplier is again dependent on other suppliers, ultimately the whole quality is getting dependent on layered suppliers, or it is getting dependent on n number of suppliers, and that is why sustainable quality cannot be achieved. See, for example, if we are developing one particular product of extract, some material is supplied maybe in the starting months of the year, like January, February, we are getting the material from Gujarat. But gradually after 3 months, the material is not available in those geographical locations. Then we have to depend on some supplier from the south, from the southern region, where the ultimately climatic condition, soil condition is different. Then after some time, maybe 6 months, our supplier is dependent on some region located in West Bengal and the area or that part of the country. I mean to say, the different n number of factors which affect the overall biological processes in the plant, they are causing the different type of constituent variability. And this constituent variability is nothing but it's the quality concern. We have to, every time we have to ensure that the supplier is collecting the material from which source, which particular source are being used to maintain the sustainable chain of supply. So in this way, when our target is to detect what particular quality check we have to maintain, we have to develop some processes by which the innovation can be incorporated in detection of the quality. And then these innovations required various kind of modern techniques. In conventional way, we use different type of ash values, different type of chemical profiling, quality profiling, and different type of profiling of active material with limited number of the constituents. But when we go for innovations, we have to use some system biology, some modern kind of techniques which are available involving biotechnology or genetic engineering. So with the help of this modern technique of biotechnology, we use different type of fingerprinting of the one material which have collected from Gujarat, fingerprinting of the material which we have been supplied from the southern region, from the Chennai or other part of the country, or the material which was supplied after 6 months or 1 year from other places. So we have to just compare the overall fingerprint, and ultimately we'll be able to find out the what particular kind of percentage of the resemblance is existing in those supplied material. So in this way, the constant quality is ensured in such a way that we could see the different type of sustainable supply of the quality material. When we go for the quality check of the particular material, we have also to look into evidence-based medicines. Evidence-based medicine means are there, but sometimes these proofs are misleaded by some community people or some people who are reporting this evidence. So evidence-based medicine should also be evaluated in such a way and we investigate, we find that the bioactivity is not as it was described by the people who have misled the evidence. So in this way, the evidence medicines are having its importance in terms of different kind of preservation of the traditional knowledge of the medicine, and definitely with the help of this traditional knowledge, we'll be able to develop the quality of traditional inputs and traditional claims. Here, I would like to say that the medicinal plants are a kind of linking between the human health and the nature. We have a link between the medicinal flora or the botanical flora with the overall health of human beings, and that is why when we develop the quality, we cannot ignore this linkage between the health status and the medicinal plants. And that is why this is described in terms of you know uh, signatures. Signature are nothing but they are considered as symptoms. Sometimes they are also known as doctrine of signature. Doctrine of signature is nothing but the plant is having some resemblance with the plant part, with the body parts, or resemblance of the colors of the plant parts and the body fluid. Like you have seen that in first second slides I told you that the functionality of the foods, botanicals have different type of functionality, and this is the era through which we have to look into the quality of the what particular kind of herbs and vegetables we are using. We have to quantify their quality. We have to look into the optimum use and maximum effectivity in terms of safety of maintenance of our normal homeostasis, to maintain our normal immune system. See, our body is having very effective immune system, but because of a number of factors, we are affecting this immune system, and ultimately we are asking for some immunostimulant. Body itself is having its own defense mechanism, but because of a number of negative factors, this defense mechanism and defense force is getting diminished. Their potential is getting diminished, and that is why I say that the medicinal plant also gives us some inputs like natural maintenance, or the the maintaining the body in terms of natural phenomena. Say, for example, in this pandemic situation, I used to say that try to live in healthy manner, but that healthy manner or living style in healthy way is not the matter of reading some books or watching some TV series or watching some news items which are giving some inputs how to live, how to be healthy and like that. This is the era where we have to learn something in micro learning manner, and so that we'll be able to find out on micro level that what particular type of learning we have with us. The individual can learn something from the daily habits, and that is why when we eat some foods, we have to find out in what kind of functionality it has. If we eat some vegetables, we have to look into in what particular kind of quality concerns are associated with this daily diets. We have to sleep as much as possible. We have to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours. Why? Because when in daytime our body functions, we are just trying to, breaking down many parts, many processes with a number of factors. And when we go to bed, throughout night, our body is repairing these broken parts. Broken parts doesn't mean only breaking some part of the body, but breaking of the part, breaking of the process means some biological processes are getting stressed and ultimately they are abnormal. If we do this breaking processes every day or throughout day, if you are breaking these biological processes, definitely throughout night our defense mechanism will not be maintained, and whatever potential of defense we have will be consumed in the for the recovery of that particular breaking processes. So I mean to say, when you are living healthy, your style is healthy, it means your negative stimulus are incorporating or administered in the body are very limited in number, and if we are very limited, definitely we are contributing to maintain our normal homeostasis. When you are contributing in this way, the normal homeostasis, definitely at the night time when you will sleep, when your defense mechanism is on the top of on the optimum level of its functionality, throughout night it will repair your body system, and ultimately you will be able to next morning will be very fresh, and your body part will be maximum functional. See here, if you are not able to sleep proper maybe for 7 hours or 6 hours, it means you are not able to giving the opportunity or optimum time to repair your body part. You are not able to give the optimum time slot for the maintenance of the this abnormal homeostasis, abnormal bioprocesses. So these bioprocesses are getting repaired throughout the night, and ultimately at the morning you see that you are able to see very properly. You are able to walk with very strength. You are able to feel that you are healthy. But when time goes, at afternoon, maybe in the evening, your normal homeostasis is getting affected by a number of factors. And till bed, you think that I'm very tired, tired and all that. What I mean to say, in this manner, this medicinal plants and functional foods are playing their very, very important role. That in this pandemic situation, the medicinal plants have their important role, not only for the therapeutics, not only as a medicinal agent, but as a food supplements. We have to maintain the quality, and we have to quantify the, we have to develop some profile of the some food consumption which we use individually. And that is why I say that it can only be done on the basis of the micro learning. Micro learning means we are using some, or you just practice like this. You just use some vegetables like karela and all that one day, and you feel next day morning what happens with your body. Or you consume the curd or yogurt in the night, and you just feel what kind difference you. Use different kind of it. You just extra next morning. You see, use some extra spices or no spices, and you see what changes occurs in your body. So in this way, different type of significant roles are there in terms of functionality of the different type of herbs, whether they are medicinal herbs or they are functional or nutraceuticals. So I was talking about the signature and symptoms and all that. So we have to use all the veggies which looks like different body parts. Like we have to use different type of nuts, and if you are using this kidney beans, rajma, definitely your kidney will be definitely will have the some supporting secondary metabolites which will affect the overall function of the kidney. You have to also use different colored vegetables. Why? Because there is some relationship between these colors and all that. But time is limited. I won't be able to explain all this connection, scientific connection which is required. But here I wish to say you that you have to personalize your diet. You have to personalize your food habits. You have to personalize the way you are living. Need not to follow that my father, my parents, my grandparents, they are following this food habits, or I'm sleeping in this manner, so that I have to follow this. No, you have to quantify, you have to develop your overall requirement of the eatables and all that, and accordingly every day you have to think about the quality of whatever you are administering in your body. Every day in the night you have to quantify what quality efforts you have put for the in support of your individual body system. That you have your approach is now personalized. Personalized doesn't mean you don't have any connection with society, but this is the era where you have to maintain the normal homeostasis. A normal homeostasis of individual doesn't come from community. It comes from your own body system. You have to maintain your own body system in such a way that the homeostasis is sustained for the longer period of time, so that the attack like COVID-19 and different type of viral or the other type of bacterial infection may be managed by your body. So I think my slides are not getting changed, but I wish to thank you all, and I'm grateful to IES fraternity. Thank you very much.